Hi and welcome to 7 days of wavy hair. I thought that by sharing how I treat my hair in a week, different routines that I do, just things that work and I guess more importantly things that don't work, it might help you have more good hair days than bad. I've got one of my favourite heatless methods to share, 3 different techniques on how I protect my wavy hair at night. One day I've got a really simple updo that looks like you put in more effort than you did, and I'll share favourite products, tips, anything that I think might be helpful. I am going to use my phone today as a bit of a reference tool because I wanted to be able to remind myself of what I did each day, and then also for some unknown reason I started this little project on a Friday. So we begin our week on Friday and I opted for a bouncy blowout. Now this is what I would call a short version, and what I mean was I didn't do it overnight. We will come back to that for day 2. But what I did was I gently rough dried my hair, I made sure I got it nice and smooth, and then I used these satin pillow rollers from Kitsch to put my hair up into 3 different sections, creating this beautiful bouncy blowout. I only had to leave it in for probably an hour, maybe 2, just while I did some chores and stuff around the house. And then you just very gently release your hair from the rollers and you get this beautiful voluminous look really, really naturally. Now, of course, you absolutely could choose to air dry your hair. I only opted to rough dry it because it's winter time, and I just love the natural face frame that I get because I don't have any layers cut into my hair at the moment. It is just a blunt cut. So I think it's amazing that you get this beautiful face framing shape. I then personally choose to add a little bit of oil, mainly because my hair is on the dry side. It helps create shine, it helps smooth away flyaways, and then I do also like to brush this style out. I prefer it to look a little bit more stretched out and kind of effortless and almost like it's on day 2 during the daytime. And I wasn't really doing a great deal on this Friday, so I just wanted to sort of practice and kind of experiment on wash day with a different technique. So that's what I opted for. I also knew that on Saturdays, so day 2, I was meeting up with a friend for lunch and for shopping in the beautiful city of Bath. And so this is a strange thing, but I always find my hair looks better on day 2 than it does day 1. So it worked kind of perfectly because it meant I could reactivate this look overnight. Day 2 was the bouncy blowout again, but I just put the rollers back in before I got into bed. When you wake up first thing in the morning and you've had your hair in this heatless blowout all night, it needs a little bit of time. Now, I have seen plenty of videos on TikTok and Instagram where girls take these out on the train and they just look amazing straight away. But honestly, that hasn't been my experience. I personally want to have at least an hour from taking those satin rods out to leaving the house. So let me show you what I mean. Here I am at 10 to 8 in the morning. Apologies, I was really puffy that day, so ignore the collagen kind of eye mask, that was just to help depuff. But this is at 10 to 8 and I'm just literally taking the satin rods out for the first time. Very, very gently, just remove them. I always do the front section last. And then this is what I mean by it can somewhat make you panic. This look right here. My experience is everything needs a little bit of time to settle and relax. So here I am at 20 past 8 in the morning. I didn't do a great deal other than put some creaseless clips in to keep that sort of face frame. I did my skincare, I did kind of a little bit of makeup, and now I'm adding that oil and brushing it through, just because overnight it does also get curlier and more bouncy. And again, if I was going on a date night or something a little bit more glamorous, I would definitely keep that look. But for me, a daytime shopping and having some lunch out, I wanted a slightly looser wave and curl. So gently brush with my Tangle Teaser, having applied the oil first. Here are the finished results at 9 o'clock before I head out, and I just love this look. I just think it's so pretty. You get volume, you get shape, and for me, I actually don't use a hold product, so I don't use any mousse or gel or hairspray because I love how it looks once it gets stretched out. So I love it most by the day after. But if you want it to last, then I would recommend adding a hold product or using some hairspray. Day 3, we're talking Sunday. It's one of my favourite days of the week because I start it off on the tennis court. What I wanted to do was actually show you 2 things. Firstly, what I would do if I was going to go out for the day, if I wasn't going to go and play some sport, how I would refresh my slightly stretched out bouncy blow dry. And to be honest, this didn't last as well as it normally would because the weather in Bath was horrendous. Wet and windy, just not ideal conditions for wavy hair. So it is looking particularly stretched out to me. However, if I was going to now try and refresh it a little bit, the first thing I would do is apply my most favourite leave-in conditioner, Olaplex. And you can use this on dry hair, which is why I love it as much as I do. It just helps smooth away any frizz. It helps feel like it's sort of protecting my hair. And then I can brush it through and it kind of rejuvenates and gives life back to my waves. So I very gently just kind of glaze it over, particularly focusing on the ends of my hair and then up to the mid-lengths. And then again, I just take my tangle teaser and I brush it through, being very gentle in case I've got any tangles. But actually, from the looks of it, I've still got some lovely shine. It's not getting caught too much. And it just, to me, looks absolutely beautiful. I really, really love this sort of very loose, undone, easy wave. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you was from a practical perspective. I'm actually going to play tennis, so as pretty as I think this looks, I'm not going to go out on the tennis court looking like this. So I thought I would show you what I do if I'm going to play sport or go to the gym, how I would get my hair back off my face without causing any damage. Firstly, I always use these nylon hairbands from Kitsch. They're kind of like the material of tights, and the reason I like them so much is they don't tangle my hair. They don't have like any metal bits or things that your hair can get stuck on, so they're not going to be damaging in any way whatsoever. So I gently pull it back and then use the nylon Kitsch hairband to tie it into a ponytail. And this is the important part, is I then release any tension. So I sort of push it forward to release that tension off the front section of my hair. I will then use a very small amount of water just from my continuous spray bottle, just one quick spray, and then I will add a gel. I happen to use the one from Not Your Mother's today. However, usually for a longer lasting, slightly kind of more durable finish, I would use the green eco oil one. I don't love it for my normal routines because it creates quite a strong cast, but for this scenario it is absolutely perfect. And there you can see it. I've got a lovely loose slick back ponytail, hair isn't going to get in my eyes, and actually from behind you can also see that beautiful wave left over from the bouncy blowout, which I also think looks really pretty. On to day 4, and this is a strange one, and it almost made me think this is not the week to do 7 days of wavy hair. But this is my reality, so I thought I would share it with you. I was filming a video for YouTube and it was called Curly versus Wavy. And what I wanted to show was how flexible wavy hair is by styling one side of my head in a very loose wave. It was a very simple technique just to enhance my kind of natural wave pattern. And then on the other, I used brush styling and volumizing techniques and root lift clips and multi-layering of products to create a much curlier finish. So I have one wavy side, one very loose wavy side, and one much curlier side. So this was how my hair was looking on day 4. Obviously, normally I would never style my hair in this way, but I decided I was going to carry on with the 7 days of wavy hair and show this to you anyway. If, by the way, you would like to see the full video, I will link above and also in the description box. But to me, that's the joy about wavy hair. You really can achieve a variety of looks. And it was also interesting to see just how much shorter the curly side looked versus the wavy side. I just so happened, I didn't plan it, but I was wearing the stripy jumper and you could really see a significant difference in length. So if you've got wavy hair and you want it to look longer, don't style it in a curly fashion, would be my advice. Okay, day 5. So this was then tricky because I didn't really want to go out with such extreme versions of you know, curls and wave. So what I did afterwards was I added some more oil to the curly side and I brushed it through as gently as possible. I did want to show you how it then looked when I woke up the next morning. And again, it's really interesting to me because you can still see a significant difference, even though I brushed it out, between the wave and the curl. And then I had to go to the shops. And so my fail proof is what I did here, and that is stick on a cap. A cap can be such a saviour. It covers up greasy roots or when you need your colour done. It kind of flattens things down. It didn't kind of show off the difference quite so much. So that is one of my go-to ways if I'm having a bad hair day, stick a cap on it. I kind of thought, well, what is going to be helpful to share with you today other than just grab a cap if you're having a really bad hair day? And that was, I thought I would show you 3 different ways that I protect my hair at night. The first technique is the one that I have probably been doing the longest, and I learnt this from a lady online called Sophie. So what you do is create a cape first, and then you kind of move it up onto your forehead, and then take either end of the scarf and make sure that all your hair is sitting in that scarf, and then just kind of lift and wrap as you go, to make sure that you've kind of hooked all the hair, and then just very gently tie it at the back. I then just adjust a little bit, kind of getting it off my forehead. This is just a really, really easy method. It doesn't take too long, it's not too complicated, and I would say 80% of the time it does stay in place overnight. That said, I do also sleep on a satin pillowcase, so I've got that kind of double protection in case it does come off. The second method, this is kind of something I've just made up as I've gone along, and this is the technique that I use if I want kind of a smoother finish for my hair. This is what I would opt for. It is quite tricky to describe, so I hope that the video really helps. But you're going to need 2 quite long clips for this. And you section your hair straight down the middle, and then from the back, sort of gently, you don't have to twist loads, but you just gently twist it up and then pull it forward to the front of your forehead, and take one of those clips, tuck the remaining piece of hair behind your ear, and then clip it into place. Hey, hi, it's Tori, and I'm quickly pausing myself because I just wanted to ask, is this 7 days of real wavy hair style of video helpful? Please let me know in the comments. I make my videos for you, so if you'd like to see more or less of this style, let me know. Okay, unpause, thank you. Hopefully this visual is much better than my description. And then you repeat that on the other side. Now it's really important that that clip is quite far forward, and you will see why in a minute. But once those 2 clips are in place, you're then going to take your satin scarf and create a triangle shape. And then you want to take the straight line and place that against the front of your head. I love the satin scarves from H&M. I just bought a new one. Oh, let me show you actually, hang on a sec. I just bought this one here. Is that just not so beautiful? Really do rate their scarves. This pink one is also from H&M. That's, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but that's why I got distracted and wanted to show you my new purchase. So yes, you create a triangle. The flat piece, the longer side, goes here on the front section, covering those 2 clips, and then you take the 2 lengths round to the back and then pull them all the way back round to the front, and then you want to remove the clips. And I remember this one went flying. Never happened before. Just pinged off like to the other side of the room, and then obviously repeat on the other side. You don't want to leave those clips in. 1, they could cause damage. 2, they wouldn't be very comfy to sleep on. Once the clips are out, I then tighten the knot at the front. If you needed to, you could kind of pull on those pieces a little bit more, and then the little section at the back, if you're kind of sensitive or feel like that would really irritate you, you can just lift it and tuck it up. Oh look, I've left a little strand of hair out. You can just lift it and tuck it up and out of the way. So yeah, again, I would say for some reason with this technique it probably stays in less than the first one, but a good sort of 70% of the time, and because I've got that satin pillowcase, I don't worry too much. Now, those are the 2 methods that I have used for the longest time. However, I'm getting lazier and lazier, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but once I've done my skincare and sort of brushed my teeth and all of that, I just want to get into bed. So the thought of kind of having to then do some kind of wrapping technique with a scarf sometimes doesn't appeal that much. So I decided to try a satin bonnet, and it turned up this day. So I'm also going to show you that. It's fresh out of the packet, by the way, so I haven't washed it or ironed it or anything, so it does look a bit creased. This is a dream to put on. It is so easy. I mean, literally, you don't have to do anything. You just grab your hair and shove it in a very caring way, of course. However, the only downside is it's got this little toggle to make sure it doesn't fall off, and I think it's only not been on my head one morning. But sometimes it does slip down and leave like a bit of an indentation on my forehead, which is not great. Particularly at 42, your skin takes a little bit longer to bounce back in the morning. So if you have the dream solution to this, please let me know. I would like it to be super simple, to stay in place and not cost a fortune. I would love to hear from you in the comments if you've got the answer. Thank you. Okay, day 6. My hair has been through quite a bit at this point because we've done a wavy versus curly. I've then kind of put a cap on it. I've had it up and down. I also went to the gym twice and played tennis for 2 hours. So to be honest, on this day, there's nothing to be done apart from an updo, and this is my absolute favourite. It's so easy, and yet it looks like you've actually made a bit of an effort. I apply a little bit of oil and then just brush through just so it doesn't look super scraggly. You create a ponytail, and I do have a full tutorial, by the way, which I will link above and in the description box. But yeah, you create a loose ponytail, and then, do they call it a bunny tail? So on the third way round, you don't take the lengths all the way out. And then you part those lengths into two. So you have 2 sections and hold them one in either hand. And then you create a hole in front of where the nylon Kitsch band is. And then you push the bunny tail through that hole. And straight away, like, it doesn't take very much, you kind of pull and manipulate the bun a little bit, and you get this beautiful shape. It's kept the hair all off of my face, but you absolutely could have some lovely face frame pieces. And yeah, so that is my go-to updo. I just think it creates a really lovely shape. Looks like you made an effort, but only took me a couple of minutes. Okay, and so finally, day 7, Thursday, I decided to do a little experiment. I have been loving heatless methods at the moment. I used one today, and I decided to combine 2. So I did a bouncy blowout on the front piece, and then I did socks method on the 2 side pieces. First, I added some Olaplex oil. That just helps smooth away some frizz and some flyaways. It gives a much smoother, shinier finish. And then I just left that in for a couple of hours, and then very gently remove the socks, and you can straight away see that beautiful kind of shape and curl. And then remove the satin rod at the front, and it always looks a bit bonkers to begin with. And the best thing you can do is don't panic. Don't instantly think, oh my God, what have I done? Just gently tease out the pieces. If you've got kind of separation, which I had a little bit because I'd done 2 different techniques, just kind of like manipulate the hair a little bit, smooth things over. But honestly, the shine and the shape, I really, really loved the combo. It gave me kind of like that quite cool 70s sort of vibe, which I really, really like. So yeah, to me, this was quite a success. Sometimes I try stuff and I think, oh, no, not for me. But this one I really loved. The only thing I will say is if I do it again, I would definitely use a hold product with this one, because I really liked the big chunky curl that I got, but it did stretch out quite quickly. I do feel that my hair is in need of cut. It's a little bit weighed down at the moment, so it's not holding heatless as well as it used to, but I think that just is because I desperately need to get the ends off. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that again, and next time I think I'll probably add a mousse while my hair is still a little bit damp, just for some hold. And that is 7 days of wavy hair. I love experimenting with different products, different routines, trying stuff out, and I definitely will continue to do that. That said, I do also love to keep things simple, and if you do too, you might enjoy this video next because it's my updated and, more importantly, simplified wavy hair routine. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this type of content, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.